Hi everybody, Deanna King for those who don't know me, and on this channel we discuss all things narcissism and codependency. And today we are going to be discussing 5 inadequacies that narcissists have. And I'm not saying that they only have 5 here, they have lots, but that's what we're talking about today. Narcissists, they make it their mission to make you feel inadequate, where all along these are their own shortcomings that they are projecting onto you. So hopefully this video is going to help you feel a little bit less inadequate, because you're far from inadequate. And also, please take a moment to hit that bell and the subscription button if this or any of my videos help you, even the like button, because the algorithms they're getting really strict now with all this AI stuff. Okay, so let's jump right in. Number 1, they are jealous. They are extremely jealous. They're jealous of you for having the courage to try new things, for example. They're jealous of others setting goals. You're often going to hear them complaining about everybody and everything, whether it's regarding new careers or any new adventure. They're going to judge and say that the new restaurant down the street is going to fail within the first year, so they're pros at market analysis here. And then the stained glass window that you're making, it's going to be a flop, because you just don't know what you're doing. And I know that one from experience, because I do stained glass. You're just going to mess it up. Yet they're not going to attempt anything for themselves. And they certainly are not going to start a new business venture. But in order to camouflage the fact that they're scared, they'll blame everything on the external. It is society's fault that they did not get the job. It is the government's fault that they can't start a new business. And if you pay attention to the amount of blaming that they do, you're going to find that it is astounding. It's not just you that's to blame. It's everyone and everything. They aren't getting the job because a group of people blacklisted them in their town. So if others have businesses and better jobs, they're jealous and they're angry and they're resentful because, and especially the covert, why wasn't this handed to me? Yet they won't try. They figure that since they're smarter and they know more, that they deserve the job that the motivated, harder worker got. They're jealous of you for your upbeat personality and how people are so easily drawn to you. You're outgoing and loving, which is something that they wish to own. But they have to put on a fake personality because they don't have much of a personality. They have to put in the effort. They have to work harder, where for you it comes naturally and it's not fake. Next, they can't hold on to anything. They can't keep a job, for most of them anyway. They're going to start with the usual false personas, appearing upper class, knowledgeable, and an undeniable asset for the employer. And for sure, a lot of these narcissists are quite knowledgeable, but they're also lazy. Once they get hired, at first they're going to be putting 100% effort, or 150% actually, including when they get home, as they continue researching more and more on the subject of said employment. It's like they get this tunnel vision, and now they're on a mission to impress. They're feeding at this point. That's the supply that they're getting. They're loving it. So for a while, you're going to see them happy. They're going to come home all bright, shiny, and bushy-tailed, telling you all about how impressed the boss or the co-workers, where they won't be talking about how nice that person was and how smart the other one is. They'll be talking about how impressed the others were with them. But once they have a solid footing, or so they think, the arrogance starts. Those hurtful things that they do to you, like rolling of the eyes and sarcastic remarks, they are now doing to their co-workers, denigrating comments and controlling attitudes, where they micromanage everything and they believe that they own the place, just like they do with your life. So kind of sounds like home, right? And then eventually they get fired from yet another job, again blaming everyone else for it because they refuse to self-reflect. There's just no way they're going to take the blame for anything. They're not going to take responsibility. They also can't hold down relationships. I mean, they can be 15 years into a relationship, but that isn't that they're holding down a relationship here. It's merely because the partner is trauma bonded and unable to leave, be it for financial or emotional reasons. Partners pretty much checked out a lot of times from the relationship. There's not really a relationship. It's merely survival. And then there's also relationships with friends, if you could even call them that, or relationships with siblings or parents where the family stays away from them as much as possible. They put up with them because they're blood. And then the same goes for the children of narcissists. Number 3, they cannot survive on their own without somebody acknowledging them at all times. Narcissists, they don't do well at all. For example, if they go to work and they have a really ordinary day where nothing special happens, you're going to see a shift. You're going to see them come home unhappy. They're bored and they're frustrated, and now they're looking to blame somebody. They're looking for supply, because just like the relationship, they need that extra spark of acknowledgement at work in order to be happy. They need coworkers or employers to say or demonstrate how happy they are with their work. They need to feel special, and that's every day. And it can be a simple phrase like, "What would I have done without you? Thank goodness you were here to save the day." And now they feel tall. They'll drive home playing that statement over and over in their heads, and this energizes them. That's, like I said, it's supply. You know that feeling of joy that you feel when you think of something amazing? That's the feeling they feel. So they're going to come home in a good mood. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be spared the put downs here, because the minute that they find some fault with something that you said or did, the honey that they used in greeting you will now turn to a denigrating honey. Like, "Honey, that's not how we do this," in order to intentionally make you feel stupid or small. So it isn't to get energy due to feeling low on this energy at this point, as much as it is to show you that they're above you due to their feeling all powerful, all puffed up from the comment at work. Because now it's gone to their heads. They feel like they're king of the road, and they want to make sure that you know that they are above you. But what they don't realize is, while they believe that you're all about them or inferior or whatever, you're actually put off by them. They might be smart in some aspects, but they can really be dumb in other aspects. They can't survive without you either, because you are extensions of them. Russell Belk, a writer and researcher whose research involves the meanings of possessions, wrote this paper in 1988 called "Possessions and the Extended Self." He states that an individual, their concept of self can extend outside of the body. So basically, you don't exist to a narcissist except to serve. They don't see you as a separate person. Your needs and wants are insignificant to them. They don't believe that you matter unless they need something that involves them having to put an effort into the relationship in order to get said thing. An extension of self it's like their vehicle, for example. There is the me, and then the my vehicle. It is a part of them that is there to serve them. It's an object, and so are you, unfortunately. You are a slave that they purchased. You belong to them for whatever services that they need rendered. Another way to look at it is, say the big boss in a big corporate company and his secretary that takes care of every minute detail. They have their business, and the secretary is an extension of that. The secretary ends up living to serve them. And I'm not saying all business owners are like that here, but you know what I'm talking about. That's why radical acceptance is so important. When you start to really understand that this is not about love, that this is about ownership, that's when you can start to see clearer. Radical acceptance. They need you for attention. They need you for affection. They need your acknowledgement. They need your vehicles. They need your houses. They need your reputations, so on and so forth. In their minds, you are not a person. They own you. Okay, so number 4 is they are paranoid. They are extremely paranoid, and to some it can go even so far as to believe that they're being followed or their phones are being tapped because they have this illusion of being that important. Narcissists, they believe that everybody is conspiring against them. And it's only natural that they would think that because they themselves are constantly conspiring. They manipulate through triangulations. They talk badly about how wrong people are and how incompetent people are. We tend to believe that people are the way that we ourselves view and treat others, and that's why you believe that deep down the narcissist is a good person and often trust what they say because you yourself are a good and trusting person. That's who you are. So in your mind, why would anybody lie about something, for example? So while you're placing all your trust in them, they are stabbing you in the back and then smiling in your face. They believe that you're cheating on them or at least desiring somebody else. They believe that their closest friends are stabbing them in the back or they want to sleep with you. They believe that coworkers are trying to get them fired. And what's interesting, that it's often self-prophecy because they end up creating all of these events through their behavior, but they don't see it. They just sit back and say, see, I told you so. They're psychic, right? How many of you have narcissists always bragging about how psychic they are? Let me know in the comments below. Number 5, they are insecure. Narcissists may show themselves to be these all-powerful, godlike people, but make no mistake, they are opposite of that, which is why they have created this false self to begin with. In life, mostly everything has an equal opposite, male, female, hot, cold, soft, hard. So when it comes to an abuser, it is said that to the degree that they can be loving, which is the false self, the mask, is to the same degree that they can be violent, mask off. So in their case, to the degree that they show themselves to be all-powerful is to the degree that they feel disempowered. So yes, they are that insecure, which is why they take everything the wrong way. And I mean everything. If you wrap your arms around yourself because you're feeling a little bit chilly, like you're just cold, right? To them, that's going to be taken as you being a belligerent. This is what they see. They don't see you're cold. They see this. They'll be grilling you on why you're this angry person, and no amount of arguing with them that you're just cold is going to convince them otherwise. Or they're going to be convinced that something is wrong again and you're looking for trouble again if you don't reply right away to a statement that they made, even though they're constantly doing that to you. The covert or the vulnerable ones are going to have such low self-esteem that they will often avoid socializing. And if they do, they're going to be especially quiet, almost creepy quiet. They'll try to look autistic, some of them, which is quite opposite of what they are on the home front. At home, they brag and they go on about how they're knowledgeable, especially the cerebral ones, but quiet in public, fearing being mistaken on a subject or not being able to answer a question. That would be unfathomable for them, so they choose to remain silent and just listen. The very thing that they don't do at home. And they're also very, very insecure regarding intimate relationships. And they're afraid of abandonment because one day you might just figure them out. And you're going to find out that all along, they were never really much to write home about. After all. But for you to not be impressed that's hard on them. Narcissists, they know deep down inside that they're fakes. They know deep down inside that they aren't who they say they are. They too are in survival mode, but their survival mode and yours are quite different. Your survival mode consists of cooperation with intentions of healing, where theirs consists of destruction and intentionally harming. I mean, you can look at a bear in your yard and think how cute this bear is and how lovable, but no matter what, you know that you can't approach them because they're going to destroy you. Okay, so these are the 5 inadequacies that I wanted to talk about today. But all along, you've seen that it was you that was less than, and that they're stronger and smarter and more capable than you. But that isn't so. And yes, of course, you do have those feelings of inadequacy due to your childhood, your upbringing. And so we attract what we feel inside. But remember, we're always willing to change as codependents, right? We take responsibility for everything. So when we fall into the gravitational pull of a narcissist, we are entering a significant life lesson that involves learning how to create boundaries, self-respect, and resilience. And through trial and error and a lot of pain, our connection with narcissists teaches us the necessary lessons that we need to become whole for those who adhere to the lessons. So be gentle with yourself. You are learning. You're learning by studying the behaviors. You are being acknowledged by watching videos and reading blogs. So right there, you have 2 doors that opened. Awareness is step 1 to healing. Acknowledgement is step 2 on the road to recovery. So I've left a link down below for anybody that's interested in a free self-hypnosis session. And this can greatly help you in gaining your power. It's designed to help you regain your confidence and believe in yourself against something that the narcissist destroyed. And this is the same technique that my hypnotherapist had me do when I wanted to leave my husband but didn't have the courage. And of course, listening only once is not going to do much for you. It's not going to do anything for you. But twice a day for 3 weeks is what I recommend. That's what works for my clients. And after 3 weeks, you're going to see some pretty positive results. I mean, what's 20 minutes a day for 3 weeks compared to years of abuse, or possibly even years to come? So I hope to see you in the next video, and I am wishing everybody a solid week. Take care, and bye for now.